Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Utopia³ server. And I'm just making a few finishing touches to the tree trunk. As you can see, putting covers over all the wiring that's going up. I've now got an inner core of an AE cable going all the way up to the top, and energy conduit that comes all the way down from the top. Just in case. I think I've decided now that I'm just going to have energy conduct go straight into. Well, let's start that sentence again. We're going to have the solar panels from above just going into the applied energistics quantum network bridges. So all of this, all of it, half and half, is going into the quantum network bridges. I'm going to have two of them, one going to egos and one basically is the quantum network in the pocket, which I'll have a disconnect on, so I can connect and disconnect, so it won't be eating up energy all the time. It'll just be there when I really need it, and hopefully I'll run it for a bit just to check it out. Now, as you can see, the tree has changed a bit of shape. I've narrowed it slightly. One thing I noticed about this whole build, when looking at these trees, is that because we're emulating these sort of trees, but in oak, right? So you've got a straight trunk going up, and then the branches go out. Let's say the first third leaves, second third is branches, and third is leaves. So you've got 1/3 of branches in the middle and 2/3 of leaves either side. So that's something I've been trying to sort of fix over here since we've been messing with it, and I think I've got it just about right. I think I need some more leaf patterns around the place to make it a little bit bigger. At the minute it is just exactly practical up there, and I want to spread it out a little bit more to make it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing, like one of those trees over there. So we've got 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 from this angle. I've narrowed it all down a bit. I've made the branches stick out a little bit closer to the tree. I've got this little thing here because we added this section on, which may come down altogether, but for now it's just sort of like a branch that comes out there and sprouts out just to give it a bit more or something. And again, from this angle we've got 1/3, the second third, and then not enough leaf coverage around this area, which is what I was just talking about. So I'm coming to the idea now that I need to spread the leaves out over this side a lot more. Maybe add more solar panels. It depends on the power output. But this central area here is going pretty much directly onto the tree, because that's virtually off the tree center. So we've only got like 10 blocks out that way, whereas we've got 25, 30 blocks going that way, so it's all very lopsided. So that's one thing that I'm going to be fixing, but not this episode. This episode is all about the latest update that we've just had. Nicholas has put together the update patch, where we've fixed a load of bits and pieces by updating a load of the mods, and we've included the JABBA mod again. Yes, yes, yes. The core of the JABBA mod is it's just another better barrel attempt. That's what JABBA stands for. So it is just a better barrel mod. That's the idea. Made by Professor Morbius, and it is absolutely awesome. Factorization barrels are cool, but JABBA barrels are better barrels. That's literally what they are. Now we've got some work in progress stuff that I don't think I can do anything with right now. I think the only things that I can do is use the upgrade storage capacities for JABBA barrels, the JABBA barrels themselves, and use the stickers so I can access the barrel from multiple sides. This tuning fork is a work in progress as well. I don't know what that does, and the dolly is very useful as well. So first thing, JABBA barrel. Let's get one of those. Stick those back in. And a dolly. I think I already made myself a dolly. Let's see. In my tool bag. A dolly. Yep, there we go. So the only two things that we need to really worry about at the moment are the JABBA barrels and the dolly. Now, One of the exciting features of the JABBA barrel that I'm looking for is the ability to turn ingots into more ingots of its own kind. So we've got things like, because there's so many different mods installed, that we've got iron, gold, which are standard vanilla, and all the mods use the same standard vanilla ID codes. So any iron, any gold that comes in through any means from any other mod, like gold dust or gold powder or pulverized gold, all turns into gold ingots. Not a problem. You have one single storage. And as my base is all about storage, we're looking at the stuff that gets split and causes me issues. So steel, tin. There's a tin ingot from Tinker's Construct. 51 of them sitting in the system. And we've also got thermal expansion tin, nearly 4,000 thermal expansion tin sitting in the system. We've probably got some more tin somewhere as well, another type. There we go, industrial craft tin as well. Now, a JABBA barrel, let's place this one down just here, why not? A JABBA barrel carries 64 stacks, the same as a factorization barrel, which is absolutely perfect. So it's exactly the same as a factorization barrel in how much it can hold. And as you saw, it's also got upgrades, so we can upgrade the capacity like you can in the others. It's actually a Mark 7 emerald. Nice. I'll maybe need those, but most of the time I'm quite happy with 64 stacks or something being my stockpile. I don't generally think I need to stockpile any more than that. Anything extra I'll get rid of in a different means. So the better barrel, we can place what our target tin ingot is. So let's say thermal expansion is going to be our main. So put thermal expansion tin ingots in there. Okay. Now we can lock that barrel by shift right clicking and take out the contents, and I've got that stack back. But it's still locked as the Tinker's Construct ingots. So the thermal expansion ingots, should I say. We throw those in, and we can also now basically or dictionary convert. So anything that says it's tin ingot should just go in there. And now, as you can see, I've got all thermal expansion tin ingots instead of some of one and some of another. Now if we put the industrial craft in there, we also have converted without actually having any contents, because it knows that the tin ingots are the same difference, but it ends up bringing out all of the thermal expansion tin ingots. So I've basically turning my stock from that into this. So, and just right clicking a few times puts the whole inventory in there as well. Now the other cool feature with the dolly is that you can pick up barrels. So shift right click, and I've now got the barrel on the dolly. And I believe I move a little bit slower while I'm doing this, but I can move the barrel and its contents over to here. There we go. Exactly the same barrel, and it's facing me again. So I believe if I turn it that way around, it'll face me again. So it'll constantly be able to be changed facing like that. It's got exactly the same items in every time. He keeps the entire stacks, ID, and everything available to you through the dolly. Now the dolly can also pick up, well, it can't pick up ender chests. I lie. It can pick up these. So it can pick up these chests, Minecraft normal chests, and the contents of the chest. So you move around quite easily. In fact, you don't need to shift right click. I've just figured that one out. You just right click. You can't open a chest unless you right click it. So now we've got that stuff there. If I put that chest down there, pick that one up, I've now got the contents of this chest. I'm going to bring it over here. That chest is currently empty. Pop that down there and have a look. And we've moved all the contents of the chest across from over there to over here using the dolly. So the dolly is another excellent tool, especially when I'm working in basically a warehouse. The other thing I've got going on here is behind here, every single barrel has got a storage bus from the AE system. So, because the Better Barrels mods lock in an item type, even when I run out, the AE system will still only put in the correct item into those barrels, which was a problem with factorization barrels, because factorization barrels would just accept whatever was put in. So this whole wall is laid out so that I can just keep adding more things onto the AE system storage. So we've now got 496 dirt stored away in that barrel, and a little bit stored away somewhere else in the system. Excess is going into the disposals unit over here, so the excess is just making singularities steadily. I've got a quarry running right now, so that's why everything's pretty full. I could upgrade these barrels, but 64 stacks is more than enough of any of these resources, so I'm not planning on upgrading any of these barrels unless I really need to. So what I've done here, added into my AE system dirt, cobble, sand, gravel, hardened clay and stone. Basic vanilla blocks that we use quite a lot of in resources, in everything and anything, from crafting recipes through to actually making stuff. Cobble turns into stone, stone turns into stone brick can turn into all sorts. The clay, add a bit of dye and you can get all the other clays, sand into sandstone and glass and all that, blah 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 blah. Dirt's used in a lot of the farming recipes, including the forestry farms and stuff. And I've also added the other building blocks that I like using. So we've got the basalt cobblestone and basalt smoothstone, and the marble cobblestone and marble smoothstone, which all come from the Artifice Build is Bundle mod. We've also got the Project Red marble and the other marble, which is from Chisel. Now, I think I tested this out, and you can't convert marble to marble because it's got a different ore dictionary. They're not in the ore dictionary because they're not ores, so they have to be kept separate. Plus, the Chisel marble and the Project Red marble and the Artifice marble all have different crafting recipes that you can make things out of. All marble still, but all awesomely there so that I can make lots of different marble things. And also, all the marble forged microblocks are made only from the Project Red marble, I believe. I don't think any of the other mods have got that adapted in to make microblocks. So all the microblocks are available in there as well. The good thing about these filing cabinets from Extra Utilities, because each one of the microblocks starts off with 25131, 25131, and so on and so on and so on, but have a different NBT data at the end. Every single one of them will store inside this filing cabinet, and this filing cabinet now is then hooked onto the AE system, and we can have all of the microblocks available in the AE system whenever and wherever we want them. Every time we add a new one into the system, it goes through to excess stock and sits there until I clear it out. Bees are the same as well. Bees all have all the same bee drones, even though some of them are slightly different, but the filing cabinets take the first part of the ID. There you go. There's all of the microblocks are all stored nicely away in one single container. All the bees are stored away. All of the princesses, which have one ID, are stored in there, and we're actually stacking princesses, even if they are different types, then they won't stack. Like there's two sorceress princesses there. One's ignorable stock, one's pristine stock. But I'm storing all this away because I'm going to go into bees at some point. Here, check out, there's quite a bee stock that we've got so far. Just sitting there waiting for me to start bees. And I've got some queens in here waiting for me again. And then we've got the butterflies started storage as well. They all carry the same item ID, so they all get stored in the same place. Filing cabinets, awesome. So now with the JABBA filing cabinets and AE, I have my storage solutions for just about anything. I will use a lot of ender chests and ender tanks, but mostly the bulk storage for blocks and stuff will be like this. So you can see at a glance what you want, and you can go, I'm building something, I think I'll try a bit of marble for the project, or I'll take some stone, or I'll do this in clay, or whatever. And also access to everything in the stockpile here. So this is like a stock room for every item in the game, and I'm loving it. Thank you to JABBA. So one of the things I want to set up with JABBA barrels is, and I'm not leaving myself a lot of space here, but it's just a little process, so I'm not really giving too much space. We're going to take some of these out and attach to the AE system. We're going to have an import bus on the bottom of each of these barrels. So we're going to grab from barrels. Now, I don't think it matters whether top or bottom, side to side, or whatever. You can input and output from any direction. It's fine. But we're going to take tin as the first thing. Put tin in there. So now the AE system should import that when I connect it up. I'm going to lock that. So I want thermal expansion tin. And I'm going to put an export bus above it. Thank you. Put an export bus on the top of it. And I really want precision export buses on the top of all of these, so there we go. And I want to connect this up like this. Okay, now for a start, we're going to have a look in the AE system. I'm going to find all of those ingots that are mixed. So ingots. We can throw this tin away now. So let's grab the tin ingots again. Let's go with tin. Tin. Ingot. Okay, so that industrial craft tin ingots. There was also the the Tinker's Construct tin ingot, but we got that. Copper. Copper, we've got thermal expansion copper, and we've also got industrial craft 2 copper. We've probably got Tinker's Construct copper somewhere as well, which I can set up afterwards. But let me just show you what we've got. Silver, we've got a thermal expansion silver, and there is another version of silver which I think I've already tested out. Lead, just one type of lead, thermal expansion lead, so we're all good there. So when I find more, I will update this system, but for now, right, we've got 3 JABBA barrels and I can easily add more. We want silver, because I know there's silver somewhere. Tin, silver, lock that in place. And copper, lock that in place. There we go. So now when I hook this up to the AE system, we should find that it'll drag out all of those items there, okay, and put them back in the system, so all these barrels will empty out quickly. Yeah, so we're basically keeping these barrels empty at all times, so they're actually storing in the main AE system completely. But what we want to do is we want to be able to input tin. So we're going to have this precision input bus here to put Industrial Craft 2 tin in there by the stack. So whenever Industrial Craft 2 tin comes into the system, it will get converted into thermal expansion tin through the barrel and imported back in the system, meaning I'm only storing one type of tin. The same with the silver, which we haven't got any of. The copper, so we're going to take the Industrial Craft 2 copper, put that in there, also tell it to move a stack at a time, so it'll put all of the Industrial Craft 2 copper in there and filter it out. I can't change this up, but I don't need to. I'll just filter it one item at a time, that's fine. It can just run steadily. But you can see the practicality is that I'm not going to be storing 3 types of copper, 3 types of silver, 3 types of tin. All of those can be set up along here so that anything that isn't thermal expansion ingots will go into the JABBA barrel, and thermal expansion ingots will come out of the JABBA barrel, which is what I want to convert. Anything else that comes up, I will add that into this same little setup. Nice and compact, nice and neat, and a good storage solution, I think. So now you can see the only tin ingots I've got in the system are thermal expansion tin ingots. The only silver ingots I've got are thermal expansion silver ingots. And the only copper ingots I've got our thermal expansion copper ingots. Now Thaumic Tinkerer. Thaumic Tinkerer now has KAMI, which adds in some quite pokey I-core items, which is the end game Thaumcraft, with massive silverwood wands with wand caps that just literally carry tons and tons of biz. Robes of the stratosphere, leggings of the burning mantle, boots of the horizontal shield, and there's a helmet somewhere as well. That's just a cowl, or cowl of something. Cowl of the abyssal depths. All pretty cool stuff, and all these Thaumcraft tools as well. But that is really end game Thaumcraft. I've got to get through Thaumcraft, Thaumcraft Extras, and Thaumatic Tinkerer, all the research for those 3 mods to get to the end game. But I'm going to give it a go. The other thing that we've got new is Tinker's Mechworks, which seems to me that it's basically gone Tinker's Construct to split out the drawbridge. And anything else that's going to be like a block that makes stuff or does stuff from Tinker's Construct that isn't a weapon or part of the forge to make weapons is going to be part of Tinker's Mechworks. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know. I haven't actually spoken to the mod maker himself. But we have a few new items that make drawbridges and advanced drawbridges and igniters and extended drawbridges. I'm going to have a play with those in a future episode because I've got a bit of a plan of how I want to use a drawbridge for something. And another major addition to the pack in the 1.2H update has been the Redstone Arsenal. Have a quick look at that. I'm planning on building all of these tools that have been entered in. This is the Arsenal of Tools. It's an add-on for thermal expansion. So it uses things like Electrum and Flux and powers these tools to give them better bonuses. But I'm going to go through all of that in detail in crafting and everything in the very next episode. Now, I want to get that done straight away, so I'm going to pretty much start straight away recording. And I think I've done my calculations on this, and I can make every single tool that has just been introduced with these resources. So, next episode will be these resources being turned into these tools, and we'll go and have a play with these tools and find out all the things that they can do. Until next episode, just look at that. And if you want to, just click on the link, because I'm going to release the episode that includes all of this tools and everything immediately. So you'll be able to jump straight to the next episode on Utopia³. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time in a very short space of time on the Utopia³ server. Goodbye.